That was literally like me getting ready at about 1,000 miles per hour. Anyway, that's the closest I've been to not being ready and having to delay it even further. I mean, to be fair, I started at 1 o'clock. Right, I think the actual sim is very, very loud at the minute, because you'll probably notice we're actually on 2020. I think. Yeah. We're on 2020 to start with today, and then we're on 2024 for the next airport, just because it works out better for me to be on 2024 the first airport, and then better showing you on 2024 for the other airport. Yes, we've had 2 live streams. Well, this is the second one. We've had one already on Sunday, sorry, on Friday. Sunday today. It is roasting still, so roasting means hot. I guess it's quite universal, that saying, but it is roasting. It's boiling hot. I've got my tiny stupid fan here that's doing absolutely nothing, but it should be fine. Last time we streamed, I did have the window blinds open, and where we are situated at 5 o'clock on Friday, the sun was around that way, so it would make sense why the room was absolutely boiling. It's not as bad at the minute, but you know, we're only 2 minutes in, so you'll have to bear with me. There might be some moisture going on today. Hope everyone's okay, everyone's staying safe in the heat. Welcome to the Sunday Practically Geek show. My name is Brian, as you probably already know. We're looking at a few different airports today, starting off with Paro in Bhutan, not far from the Himalayas, I believe, I think, if my geography is anything to go by. But as I say, we're in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 to start with. We're going to take a look at Paro in Bhutan. This is from IronSim. This isn't a very, very old scenery. This is actually still quite new. So we're going to have a look at that today. And then we're going to move over to Scotland, and then we're going to go to Aberdeen Airport. Now, I wasn't aware there was an Aberdeen Airport up until about a few weeks back, and this is a bit older. Why isn't my sim in full screen? That's the question. We will fix that. So yeah, Aberdeen. This is actually in window mode or something, but I can't get to the actual thing. Oh no. Let's see if we can fix that in the settings. So yeah, this one is not as new, but still, it's still fairly new. And this is from AuraScenery, the Scotland one. So when we go over to Scotland, the Aberdeen scenery is from AuraScenery. And you probably, if you tune into my live streams regularly, you will know that we've already seen AuraScenery add-on, which was, how did we say it? It was a Klein. I can't remember how we said it. Somewhere in Norway. I'll have to double check that for you. But there is links again in the description. So obviously, if you are ever interested in any of the sceneries, I've popped them in the description. If we do have any mods join us today, obviously I will ask them to kindly pop the links in. If I cannot, which I should be able to, Ross Klein, I think it's, you say Ross Klein, but they also do that scenery as well. Aberdeen, I believe, is for both Flight Simulator 2020 and 2024. So is this one. So Paro is also for both of the simulators, but I am going to show you on 2020 today. So let's get straight into it. Oh, we're in the settings, which to be fair was the last place I went to, so it makes sense. I think we're in a Zillion Shock or some kind of short takeoff and landing aircraft at the minute. So there's no static aircraft in this one. To be honest with you, I've noticed when I was doing some screenshots for this that the camera is completely off. Like, I don't know, it's because we're sort of on that really slopey, steep terrain, but it's completely off. Um, and and when I do kind of straighten the image out, there we go. It's better now. But that's how the camera starts. It's a bit odd. Anyway, so yes, around this area we do have quite a lot of custom points of interest as well. And this airport is served mostly by, I think it's called Druck, or not Drunk, but Druck Air, and they do operate A320 Neos, A319s, but mostly you might see the ATRs, the 42. I don't think we got any 72s, I believe, but definitely 42s. But as you can see already, not the easiest approach. If I was any good, I'd be topping into an A320 or 19 and giving you a demonstration on how to do that. But not today, unfortunately, because I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even begin to land this. You did see my last stream. I did crash into the sea, so you know we're not gonna be attempting landing here. But as you can see, landings at this airport, and you can already see the cameras already sort of gone wonky again. um, but straight off the bat, you can see how unique this airport is. And you can also see how really nice IronSim has crafted the scenery, rather. This one is linked to the Orbex store down below as well. So you can get it elsewhere. I think you can get it on Sim Market as well. But I have just linked the Orbex one for now. Currently, it's £10.70. As I say, it is compatible with 2024. We are seeing it in 2020 at the minute. Highly detailed custom terminal and support buildings, realistic 4K PBR textures on the surface, handcrafted ground polygon with accurate markings, authentic Bhutanese design and decorative elements, custom ground service vehicles and clutter, and true to life based on satellite and real references. As I say, it's US $14.47, euros €12 38, and £10.70 on Orbex. That is linked below. Lovely, and lots of screenshots in there, but we are here to have a little look of it as well. So if you are joining today, thank you very much. I realise that it is very warm, so if you are watching and you've got a nice space to outside, go and grab yourself a nice drink, cold drink, beer, cider. But I've heard that tea apparently is a good one for hot weather. I've got a coffee at the minute. It's getting cold, so I need to drink that. And maybe sit with your phone and tablet and just spend the next hour or two with me and get involved. No giveaways, unfortunately. I wasn't able to obtain a caravan for you guys, the new Indie Builds caravan, but we'll see what we can do over the coming weeks and months for more giveaways. But obviously, you do know that I try my best to get some copies of each thing that I'm showing on live stream. So I'll do my best next time with this one, but no giveaways, unfortunately, today. But again, like I say, it is very hot outside today. Well, where we are in the UK, it is quite a European thing at the minute. So if you are outside and you are enjoying the weather, fantastic. But please stay safe, okay? Get that sun cream on. And yeah, you can already see I'm starting to sweat. What? My hair's only just being washed as well. Oh, there we go. Anyway, it's Reet. It's good. So yeah, we'll be hopping over to Scotland after this, but we'll be hopping over to Flight Sim 2024 as well. So there will be a kind of a little pause, not a pause in the stream, but kind of me back on the main camera and talking a load of poo again while I wait for the other sim to load up. So yeah, let's have a good look around. And I know what I would say is I know that a lot of streamers, a lot of content creators, when they're doing live streams or showing an airport off, they will tend to do full routes. They will go around and obviously they'll show the airport off a slight bit and then they will go and do a flight to the airport or from the airport, which is fantastic. There's many people who do that. A lot of people who do that. Tuto Murphy being one, a great one, by the way. Shout out to Two-Tone, who I think is actually streaming at the minute anyway. Um, yeah, everyone's going off to watch his now. But yeah, he is fantastic, and he's a good example of that. For me, if I'm showing off a scenery, personally, I just want to show the scenery off as much as I can. It is great seeing obviously the approaches and the takeoffs into that particular departures rather into that particular airport. But for me, the developers have spent a long time on it, so there's a couple of ways to show the different scenery add-ons, and yeah, it's just a bit more variety to watch certain people, and if you want to see the sceneries a bit more, I mean, the scenery around here, for example, is fantastic, except for the really smooth edges here. Can see that Flight Sim 2020 still isn't perfect, but imagine playing football on here. Just, I mean, you'd be too distracted. I guess obviously the guys who are here, they'd be used to it by now. Um, but yeah, approaching landings into this airport, wow. Especially 15. I think I've seen some videos on arrivals. Arrivals into 1.5. In fact, what I might do, guys, is just link a video into the chat. Because yeah, look at that. That's insane. And this is a I think it's an A319, and it's this video's got 2.2 million views, and it's not from the cockpit. It's actually from, I believe it's this way. I think it's 1.5, runway 1.5. Yeah, I think it is actually. And someone is recording on the hillside here with a really good zoom lens. So I'll actually link that in for you guys so you can have a little watch. Again, if you are joining today, thank you so much for spending some time with me. As I say, it is hot outside. If you are enjoying the weather outside in your garden or in the park or what have you, then, get your phone out. Obviously, you're not going to hear this message, but get your phone out and start watching. So let's have a little look. So we're moving from if we're talking about this way, we're moving technically from my east to west. And we can see some of the custom buildings that IronSim has included with quite a lot of detail in terms of graphics. So we've got, don't ask me who that is, unfortunately, guys, but again, very crisp, very clear. And obviously this would be a very unique airport to look at in terms of what I've looked at in the past, because of the Bhutan architecture. And it must be really cool experience coming to this airport because it's not your typical airport. It's not your standard architecture for an airport. And you can see this lovely archway over here as well. It's really nice. There's a couple of walls here for the river which have been added in. They seem to kind of jump about a tiny bit when we're kind of moving up and down, but again, lovely bit of detail. A really nice way to get rid of some of the really bad kind of scenery going around here. And we need to keep in mind, obviously, 2020 is installed to your hard drive as well, so none of this is streamed like 2024. It would be nice to actually go and have a little look at what the airport is like in 2024, but we won't do today. It might also be included as a handcrafted airport anyway. So what we might do is just bob over in 2024 before we go to Scotland and see what the scenery, not so much the airport, but the surrounding scenery looks like, because I'm very curious to see how it renders in and stuff like that. And I know that while I'm talking, guys, I'm just gonna share this to some of my social media because I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't. I know that in Sim Update 3, there's going to be an option. I know people are already on the beta, so you can install the sceneries or some of it to your hard drive for Flight Sim 2024. So it'd be interesting to see how that looks. But yeah, as I say, guys, I apologise. I'm a bit all over the place today, if I'm going to be totally honest. Didn't have the best sleep because of the heat. The heat right now is not great. I also am a bit concerned about my computer because it is so bloody warm. I might have to actually take it from underneath and put it on top, which just completely ruins my desk space. But anyway, as I say, guys, I really appreciate the patience today, and I appreciate everyone coming in, spending time with me. We are keeping up with the Sunday streams very well, or rather I am, which is nice. I am going to keep on doing them and do my best to stay up to date with them because I do enjoy doing them. I'm not the very best at doing them, but I'm getting there. I like the fact that I can put some pre-recorded content out, and I can also go live. I can do some bonus shows when needed, which is fantastic. Sometimes I'm not always going to be able to stream or put videos out. It's just how it is at home, unfortunately. If people didn't know already, I am kind of a full-time dad as well. So when I do any kind of videos or live streams, it's because obviously my partner, my wife, is at home and I'm able to do these things. So it's not always easy, but I am doing my very best to get the content out. And we're already kind of pushing up towards the 4K subscriber mark, which is fantastic. And honestly, this isn't why I do it. I'd be very content doing what I'm doing with my content and just having one subscriber. If that one subscriber watched me all the time, do you know what I mean? Like, that's where I am with how I perceive, thankfully, how I perceive YouTube now. I didn't do, as you already know, I've spoke about that, and I am sorry that we are kind of all looking around the scenery and I am chatting away, guys. I do apologise. This would be something I usually do as the stream starting, but I really was up against it today, so I appreciate the patience on this one. As I say, if you are watching, thank you so much. It is a very warm day. This fan is totally useless, but it's kind of helping, I guess. And yes, I am drinking a hot coffee, just because I need my coffee. So we are looking at Paro Airport in Bhutan. This is the IronSim scenery. On 2020, there is a handcrafted version, I believe. But this one is available from Orbex. It's linked down below. Went through the prices before, but you're looking at around £10 UK. After we've had a look at this scenery, we'll head over to Scotland. We're going to be heading into Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 after this, and heading to Aberdeen Airport by AuraScenery. But we will go and check out the surrounding scenery in Paro in Bhutan on 2024 before we do that, just because I'm curious to see how it renders and how it looks. What I do like straight off the bat, if you are a long time subscriber and viewer to the channel, is the surrounding gates, and we've got quite a few here. We've got a big perimeter fence and then quite a small one with this outside path here, which if you're able to go on this track as if it's a public footpath, then it'll be a fantastic viewpoint for this airport. Very, very close to the runway as well. About as close as you get if you were kind of hugging the fence at Manchester on south side. That's how close it is. And there's a lot of detail, a lot of sort of I would say maybe custom vegetation, or maybe hand-placed vegetation around the airfield. There's a couple on the apron as well. So your grassy areas, there's some coming through the tarmac here, which, I mean, technically could happen, but it's a nice bit of detail. It isn't just flat ground with a bit of grass. Let's have a look at some of the ground equipment, because on the Orbex site it does say that most of this is custom. So obviously only applicable for Paro. You can see the kind of default one, which is great. You can actually see the difference. So this obviously being a default kind of asset that you can use in your scenery development, but all the other things look like the custom ones included in the scenery as well. So if you guys saw my 75 Bluebird Simulation 757 trailer, I was using 2020 for now. There was just a build on 2020, and I was using Rex Atmos, and that was the first time I'd used it, and I was really, really happy with it. And I'm hoping what they're teasing currently is Rex Atmos for 2024, because even though the atmospheric, the weather and everything has been improved in 2024, that kind of yellowish tint and just overall colour grading for 2024 is still quite, it's like 2020. I'm not using anything on this stream in particular. I'm not using any NVIDIA filters or reshade. I do use reshade on 2024, however. But there's more. It's more than likely when Rex Atmos comes out for 2024, I will be using that, possibly in conjunction with the reshade, depending on how it comes out. But yeah, I am looking forward to that. But nothing's being used currently. Again, the graphics here on show, from what I've seen on real pictures, this is spot on, and the actual graphic here is very interesting, because there's a lot of, you can actually see the texture in the poster. It's not just a flat graphic. It almost looks like a painting. Maybe it is a painting, I'm not too sure. But you can see where Druk Air gets its name from. And as far as I know, when I'm going there on Flight Radar, that's the only airline there, apart from maybe a couple of private charters and stuff like that. I could be wrong, but from what I've seen on Flight Radar, there doesn't seem to be any other airlines that are there. But it's great. It's really, really nice. Again, I don't think we have any interior to the scenery, but the detailing on the windows is fantastic. Not quite as easy as putting in just a normal sort of grey bit of concrete or wall for your standard airport scenery, is it? It's a lovely, lovely airport. And you can see some of the PBR texture, and then obviously you can see the reflections and how the sun is hitting that roof. And again, don't know if that airport is it has a gold roof, but it certainly looks the part. Oh, do you see the sun hit the roof then? Oh, blinding. I mean, 20 Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 still holds up, man. It's still really, really nice. It's just when you get into 2024 and you start flying sort of VFR and you start doing a lot of flying, you start to really, really get that kind of 2024 snobbiness, and that you can't really move back to 2020. In fact, I actually uninstalled 2020. Um, and then, speaking to Bluebird Simulations, and them saying obviously it's just 2024 now, in terms of making the trailer, I was like, it's getting reinstalled, guys. There's no way I'm missing up on the opportunity. But it's a lovely airport. Even the tower, even the control tower, is done to the same architectural style. I hope they never ever redo it. Like, they never ever decide to put an upgraded tower in there, because there's no need. If it's got the equipment, keep it like that, because it's bloody gorgeous. Again, the vegetation placement here, the bushes and the archway, really, really nice. I don't know if this is some kind of private terminal for the airport. I think it certainly looks like one. We'll see if there's any kind of point of interest for this airport on Google Maps, because I do like to do this. So that building in particular doesn't have a point of interest. The building next to the control tower is actually the Druck Air Business Lounge, so that wouldn't be maybe a business lounge at all. And as I say, if you go on Google Maps, you'll actually see a couple of A320s and A319s parked up on the ground here. But it's lovely. If anyone's ever flown into here or has the opportunity to, you're gonna obviously get the unique building, but you're also gonna get that unique approach. Did I actually put it in there? Yes. So in there is Paro made by Iron. Yes, it is. It is. It is. It is the IronSim version. I've linked it in the description. Um, I believe 22. So we're showing it on 2020 at the minute, but as I say, the 2020 does have a handcrafted version. Don't know if 2024 has one as well. I think it does, but we will double check that, because I'm curious to see what the landscape is like around the airport, to see how it differs from 2020. I'm quite interested to see that now, before we move into Scotland, of course, on 2024. So you will have to be patient while I sort of shut down the sim and load up the other one. But yeah, this is IronSim. It's linked in the description. It's about £10 UK to buy. It is compatible with 2024, but I am showing it on 2020 today. I actually did a video, and IronSim the Doha landmarks, and that was a good few years back now. Actually, they did, and I'd kind of obviously I'd not been on the sim and away from YouTube for a while, as you already know, but they have been really, really getting some great sceneries out ever since Doha. So it might be worth looking at kind of IronSim as a developer before Paro as well, because they've got quite an extensive collection now. Let's just have a look at the room, and as you can see, there's still more the vegetation being placed down as well, just to make it a bit more realistic. And again, the approach here is fantastic. You've got this lovely brick wall here, another little archway, again an entrance, a staff entrance, or an entrance into the airfield, the aerodrome, is marked up with another archway, and that has been fully modelled as well. And again, the approach into the airport from this side has a lovely, lovely amount of scenery to it as well. Very, very nice, actually. Let's have a little look down here. There doesn't seem to be anything on the board down here, unfortunately. And again, you can see the camera's just tilted off center there as well. But yeah, that's fantastic. You can't go underneath there, unfortunately. There is a collision marker, but the brick wall textures here look really, really nice. As I say, after this, we'll be loading into 2024. I'm going to come back to Paro because I'm very, very curious to see how 2024 handles the river around here and just the surrounding area, not so much the airport, so we won't be there for long, but we will be looking at the AuraScenery Aberdeen Airport. One that I think personally it slipped me, but it also I think maybe slipped other people as well. I don't think many people would be aware there's an Aberdeen Airport available in the simulator, and it's a massive hub for helicopters. And the fact on 2024 we have a lot more helicopters at our disposal is quite cool. And again, from just saying from before we go there, I have been there to have a little look, and it is fantastic. There's also, look at this, just literally caught this here. Fantastic. Bird's eye view at the airport. I tell you what, that is a lovely, lovely plane spotting area, isn't it? Gonna have to add that to my bucket list, aren't I? Along with St. Martin and Princess Juliana Airport. This is gonna have to be another one. Can't imagine it's very busy for air traffic here, but this spot with a nice zoom lens would be lovely. Totally forgot what I was saying, by the way, just then. But yeah, Aberdeen Airport it is lovely, very, very. It's been fully done. Both sides, hangars, all the different helicopter runways, because they are actually runways for the helicopters. Are all there. Again, the car park, the edging of the curb and the fencing has all been done. There is some animated people here as well, if you look through. These are the animated people that I've seen in some past sceneries, and I don't know, they do kind of disappear and then they will start again, but they're pretty good if you just want the bit of realism. As I say, you're not gonna, if you are just a Simpala who just goes to the airport, sees the landside area, you're not gonna see that really. Drink a coffee, yeah, coffee. But yeah, if you are joining me, I appreciate it, guys. It is another Sunday stream at 1 o'clock. I don't know if I'm completely God, the state of me hair. Oh my God, I'm not sure if I'm completely I'll say happy with the time. Um, I need to, as a person who's not been live streaming long, I do really need to have a look at what how YouTube is going with the times and stuff like that. Oh, look at the landscape over there. So this is how distracted I get, unfortunately. But yeah, not too sure. Don't know if 1 o'clock is the right time. That was just a time that I picked off and went, right, we're going to live stream every Sunday. I'm going to try and keep at it. So it might be that, I don't know, it might be that I find out that live streaming every Wednesday at a particular time is the better way to go. I don't know. We'll see. But for now, it is Sunday at 1 o'clock. I might see if there's a particular better time on Sunday. I don't know. But we are in a really, really, big heat wave at the minute in the UK especially. And I know that a lot of people aren't going to be wanting to sit there in front of a telly or really in front of their phone. They're going to be wanting to sit in there with family and friends with a drink, chatting away in the sun, getting a tan. So I appreciate if anyone's watching today. Really, I appreciate it. But yeah, not a massive airport. Very, very well done. It's from IronSim. We didn't see the little bits of thingy here, though, did we? A little bit of ground clutter there. But yeah, it's Vadal from Orbex. I've put the link in the description. This has been Flight Sim 2020, guys. So what we are going to do now is I am going to pop you back onto the screen with nothing on. Well, apart me in a bit bigger picture, and then the 757 trailer just over to my right, to my left on the screen, and then I'm going to take you into Flight Sim 2024. But yeah, let me know in the description how you've been this week. If you're enjoying the heat, obviously make sure you're staying safe. But if you are enjoying, what have you been doing this week? Let me know. Again, please head into the description because I've got my Discord in there. I've got all my social media. It's quite easy to find me on social media at Practically Geek on pretty much every platform. There's also a Practically Geek subreddit as well, which I created purely just to submit videos and screenshots on there. But yeah, Discord kind of is going nicely at the minute. Everyone's kind of in there chatting away. I do open up my voice chat every so often, and I'll pop into there and we can all chat as well. So yeah, take some time to do that as well, guys, because that is really fun place to be. Actually, I will admit there's quite a lot of people in there, some content creators as well, so say hello to them. But yeah, we're gonna head into Flight Sim 2024 now, and I'm actually gonna go back to Bhutan, just have a look at the scenery, see how 2024 renders it. I'm curious, but we will head up into Scotland and have a look at Aberdeen Airport. That's from AuraScenery. Let's get some things on the screen while Flight Sim 2024 loads up. I don't know why I did that because I already had it open. So currently this looks like it's on maybe a bit of an offer. So we're actually looking at around the same price for Aberdeen Airport. And what I would say, it's actually quite a bit bigger in size. So it is down a couple of pounds. It used to be around £14. You can get it for £10.34. Conversion wise, roughly $14. $14.02. And €12, just €12. And again, this one's quite substantial. Landside area has been done with the hotels, 100 detailed buildings, apron textures, detailed landscaping, realistic night lighting. I've only briefly looked at the night lighting, so we need to have a look at that properly. A couple of hotels I've had a look at, really nice. The hangars for the helicopters, the Bristow one, obviously the terminal itself as well, the control tower, which is quite a unique looking control tower. We'll show you that. The kind of the archway billboard structure just as you enter the airport as well. And this is from the InnyBuilds website, so these guys are I think InnyBuilds partners, so that is linked in the description as well. But yeah, we'll wait for 2024 to load, which is not too bad. 2020 obviously really depends on how much stuff you've got in your community folder. It really does. But yeah, I am enjoying streaming. It's I tell you what, at first I thought, oh, this. I didn't think it'd be easy. I thought it might be easy just purely because I'm not sitting in and editing a video together. But it's hard being on camera. I must admit, it's hard sitting here and talking, filling in the gaps. And sometimes I do waffle on, guys. I'll be looking at the scenery and I'll go off on one, and I do apologise. That is just, don't know, maybe a bit of nervousness. I don't know. But look at that, 2024 is loaded, fantastic. I also need to check how hot my PC is running, because at the minute I'm pretty certain it's not running very coolly, let's put it that way. So Paro in 2024 does have a hand-built scenery, which doesn't surprise me because it has it in 2020 and everything kind of has moved over from there as well. So what I do want to do is I just want to have a look at just the scenery, just the surrounding scenery, not so much the airport. I'm not here to compare them at all. I just want to see the surrounding scenery and see how it's being done, which is quite interesting. So if you are joining, like I said, thank you very much. Please keep an eye on the channel. I will be doing more giveaways at some point, but there is more to come, guys. Right now, next week's kind of pre-recorded video, I really don't have an idea of which one to do because I have so many in a list that I could do, but I don't know. Now, what tends to happen on that front is that there's an upcoming scenery or airport or an add-on that is coming out, and I'll go and do it. Do you know what I mean? I'll go and actually create the video for it, and obviously any kind of planned video will just kind of be brushed aside for now. And I have so many. I have a list so big of videos that I can do. There's a lot of freeware sceneries that I want to show you guys. There's so many. Anyway, let's pop back in. We're already in 2024, which is fantastic. You can see the IndyBuilds caravan there. I flew that badly on the last stream, but we'll ignore that. But what I've noticed is the surrounding brick wall is still here. But having a look at the actual, you can see some of the water spilled over here, so it's a bit unrealistic. But the actual cliff face itself looks a lot better. It does look a lot better. Which it doesn't surprise me. 2024 scenery is just really, really a lot nicer, isn't it? Look at that. Didn't have any of that. All the brick here as well. Let's have a little look around at the approach. As I say, I don't really want to spend a lot of time here because I do want to show you Aberdeen Airport. Yeah, some of the walls are a bit off. But, for example, this part, which was quite messy, is still not amazingly good, but it looks, in terms of the rock detail, it looks a bit nicer. The football pitch doesn't, unfortunately. But obviously, as a whole, Flight Sim 2024 is just generally just a lot nicer on the ground. But it's interesting. Comparison-wise, not much there, really. Not much there at all. Let's head into Scotland. And we will have a little look at Aberdeen. So this one is from AuraScenery. Again, linked in the description. This one will take us a bit longer to get through, guys, because it is a bit more substantial. This is also known as Dice, Dice Airport. As I say, this is home to quite a lot of helicopter, offshore helicopter operations, oil rig stuff like that. So it is a bit bigger. Again, we'll stick with the IndyBuilds caravan just to start with. Again, we get a few more. Well, we actually get static aircraft in this scenery. We didn't with the Paro one. Bit more coffee before it goes completely too cold. To be honest with you, I should just place it here because my PC is just absolutely heating up that desk. But yeah, thank you everyone who's watching, spending some time with me. As I say, my my stream limit is kind of 2 hours, but again, that's something that will change over time because there's going to be other things that I want to show you in time. I do want to start doing some flying, weirdly enough. Even after crashing this beauty, I still want to do some flying. Maybe not in that one. But here we go, we're in AuraScenery, Aberdeen Airport. And there is the control tower. Very, very unique looking control tower. Full interior. I'll show you the night lighting a bit later on in the stream. But fully included interior. Lovely control tower, by the way. I'm not too sure if this is exactly how it looks like, but it's very well modeled. I'm not even showing you the airport, guys. There you go. I always do that, man. Or don't turn the microphone on. But anyway, here is the control tower. Very unique looking control tower. It reminds me of, there's one down south in, I think it's, do we say Thorsten? Thorsten or Torsten? There's an airfield down south in the UK which has a similar looking control tower, a bit smaller, but the modelling on the interior is fantastic. You got some open desks, a water tower, and you've actually even got the chart and the map area for Aberdeen as well. And it's all very readable. Wow, that is actually really, really good. Wow. So what I would like to say, if AuraScenery is watching or they do watch the replay of this, I want to just say I have sent an email through to you guys, but I do want to say sorry, just because I was meant to be putting out a pre-recorded video for the airport. I just got so behind with everything, and new things were coming up that I had to sort of get out on a sort of a time frame. But there will be a pre-recorded video here, because there's a few ideas. I did want to do a like kind of a first look review, or kind of a comparison with the default scenery. So there's a couple of ideas for pre-recorded videos there, which I might still do. But I also might look at doing some kind of cinematic here, which is not like a trailer or normal cinematic. It might just be a specific thing, like flying from Aberdeen or something, like an experience of some kind. But it's really nice, and to be fair, I've only looked around this a handful of times, so in terms of night lighting, I've not really seen it much. We've got some open hangars, a lot of, as I say before, a lot of helicopter movements. In fact, what we will do is I will show you the layout of the airport now, and you will see the helicopter pads. So you'll see them all the way up into the distance here. Actual dedicated buildings for the helicopters, and you've got a strip here and a strip there. Is there another one? I'm sure there's another one. I could be wrong there. There isn't another one. One there. But yeah, actually designated. You got your full length runway here, and then you've got, oh, sorry, one there as well, running right across. I thought there was one here, one there, and one there. A lot of runways here. So as well as obviously the ones for the aircraft, the planes, you've got all these intersecting ones as well. Very, very busy airport. I have seen some videos from Aberdeen, specifically, obviously, watching the helicopters, and there's a lot. I think it's one of the busiest, or the busiest helicopter port in the world. I use that loosely because I think I read something about it being up there with one of the busiest, or if not the busiest. Got some I think these are Sikorsky helicopters here, but we do have the Bristow hangar here as well, done to a really nice standard. There's the archway as you come into the airport. Landside area has been done very, very well, by the way. And again, really nice static models. And you do have a lot of options on the simulator anyway for helicopter flying. While we're over here, let's have a little look at the landside area. So the guys have modelled quite a large portion. The massive amount of hotels there, we'll have a look at those in a second. The junction in, so there has been work on the scenery in terms of the, I don't know if you call it transforming, terraforming, but a lot of sculpting of the landscape as well around the airport. Up to here, we've got a custom roadway heading up into the airport's landside area. Again, the archway itself actually done to a really nice standard. Doesn't seem to be any sort of jaggedy edges. Looks like one nice smooth archway, which is nice to see. Road markings are done as well, and obviously we do have a lot of street lights as well. But in terms of a landside area, not a massive kind of area until you get to the front of the airport, which is nice. Kind of similar to Liverpool Airport in that respects. Massive multi-story car park. Well, I say multi-storied, maybe 2 or 3 levels. Only the parking needs a modelling. But anyway, hello, Captain Liloff. Nice to see you. Another one of my community members and followers who's in our Discord server. Definitely get yourself in there if you haven't already. Only the parking needs modelling. I'm not too sure, mate. Do you mean here? I think you mean kind of this area. Maybe would have been nice to see kind of some custom modeling, because there's I was speaking to this with Liam from Persevering Scenery. If you haven't seen that video, obviously that's in my pre-recorded videos, but there's a limit to how far you go. Do you know what I mean? Now, obviously the guys they've done the hotels here. They could have went all the way back around here and done every single building. But does it need to be done? I can understand here with the hotels and the hangars, because obviously we are getting close to the approach path and kind of near to the runway. But as you go off into the distance here, there is a limit to where you start, as a developer, you start thinking, yeah, we won't do that just purely for performance as well, but would have been nice to see a bit more of the road being modelled, especially around the hotels, like what they've done here. You can see obviously they've tarmacked the road and done all the markings. It would have been nice to just maybe go around most of the airport. Again, I'm saying that like it's an easy job, but it would have been nice just to, if you're going to model this area, maybe do the roads as well. But that is me nitpicking. That's not me saying that's a massive, massive negative to the scenery. It's not, because it actually really does look nice. I think it's got the custom structures and custom buildings where they need to be. There is more. So these are the same animated people, I noticed, but look, you have got the billboards as well. And I do apologise because we didn't actually look at the night lighting in Paro Airport, so I do apologise for that. If we do have time at the end of the stream, I can jump back into 2020. That's not a problem at all. But we didn't have a look at the night lighting there. But yeah, some of the custom people here, I think, are possibly just the ones that are included with the simulator or the SDK pack. I believe that looks like one of the normal airside guys who you can see near the aircraft. What we'll do is, before we head it by the terminal, obviously we'll have a little look, because we do have quite a lot of buildings on each side of the runway. But we've got the hotels here. Holiday Inn Express, the Moxie. Moxie's a lovely hotel. We stayed in a Moxie in Warsaw when we went to Poland a good couple of years back. But the Moxie's a lovely hotel to stay in. Not saying that the Holiday Inn Express isn't, but certainly there's a level of sophistication there. And the Marriott as well. Very nice modelling. You've got the PBR texture on the windows. The reflections in the windows are fantastic. Bits of detailing on top, nothing too mad, but again, they're there. You can see that the hotels are modelled, especially over here, because you would actually see them from the flight deck over here on this apron. I would say with the terminal here as well, because it's not quite a high up terminal. Obviously, if you're sitting there in something like an A320, which is which is what they get here. It feels quite high up to be on the flight deck compared to the airport. No problem, no problem, Captain, mate. I appreciate you coming in, having a little look, and I'm surprised I'm not melting yet, to be honest with you. Here is the terminal. We don't have an interior to the terminal, but it's very nicely done. Replicates the real terminal. I'll just show you the actual other side of the landside area, because we do have the Aberdeen sign as well here. International airport, by the way. From what I've seen on Flight Radar, you're looking at the likes of EasyJet. I think TUI are also here. British Airways, they have a shuttle service like Manchester. I think from Heathrow, actually, possibly Gatwick. We've got the Broomfield House here as well. Bit of pixelation on the letter in there, but I'll forgive that. Nice bit of detail on the aircon units as well. Nice bit of rust and weathering as well. And generally, overall, there's quite a lot of nice texturing on the roof and the actual the walls themselves of the airport. And as I said to you before, if you are sitting there in an A320, you're going to feel like you're a bit higher than the terminal itself as well. Ground texturing is fantastic as well. Quite a lot of dirt and stuff on the actual stands. As I say, guys, I will show you the night lighting, and I will jump back into 2020 to show you the night lighting in Paro, because I made a bit of an error there. I didn't actually show you the night lighting, which was an error on my behalf. There's a couple of industrial units here. Again, would have been good to see a couple of others being modelled in there, because I believe that looks like an actual. That looks like there's a build. No, actually, there's some cars here. This just looks like a bit of land with a bit of shadowing, but would have been nice to see that. But again, not denying we've got a nice amount of custom buildings here with custom signages on there as well. Again, very relevant, because our approach into runway 34 is just here as well. But there has been a lot of custom buildings added into this scenery. So really, if you look at it, we've got all this side as well. A lot of auto-generated buildings, but then we do have off into the sort of the distance there with the helicopter hangars. There's more custom buildings, so you got loads on this side and loads on this side. So it is quite a substantial scenery, and at the normal price of £13, I don't think you can complain at that, because there's a lot in there. Again, custom fencing around the airport perimeter, checkpoints, gates. And overall, I think the weathering and the kind of the texturing on the buildings is nice. It's okay. It doesn't feel brand new. It looks like it's been there for a good couple of years. And then there's more helicopter hangars, some open, most of them closed, but you can just see how big the helicopter operation here is at Aberdeen. Again, if you are joining us today, massive thank you. I'm absolutely boiling now. If you guys are out in the sun enjoying it, please be safe. It is warm. It is very warm. And if you are watching, massive thank you for joining me. It seems these Sunday live streams are going well enough, and I'm keeping up with them, which is great. The ground section, apron section on here, by the way, is nice. This section here looks either it's been newly completed or just looks just very brand new. But the helicopter runways look fantastic. No complaints with the ground sort of texture and the markings. All looks really, really nice. Some bits here that are coming through, I don't think it's the easiest thing is for the developers to get rid of the satellite imagery. I think there's some kind of water reservoir there as well. And then again, a massive section here. So the roadway and the street lamps have all been done again. You've got some open hangars there as well. Kind of partly in development building site there. And overall, it looks really, really nice. The approach into Aberdeen, again, there's these really, really high landing lights. Now, I'm not too sure if that's the case. It'd be worth checking though, because they look comically big, don't they? They really do. They look too big. Let's have a little look. I don't know if we're able to actually see what these look like. I'm interested though. I'm very interested to see if that's what they look like. Don't know if you can go down on the stretch. Oh, you can go on the stretch of road next to it and see. Now, what I would say straight off the bat is the road here, they've got spot on. They've got really, really good. Now, I don't know if that's part of the scenery or it's part of just the default scenery, but this road here, Dice Drive, I think that's how you pronounce it, is actually in this kind of valley. That's exactly how it looks. So you can't actually see the lights themselves, but if we were to go further down, let's have a little look. So what I would say is the landing lights aren't that high. I don't know if they were ever that high, but they're certainly not that high. So conflict in scenery, I don't know. I'm not going to say it's the developer or it's the simulator, but the landing lights are not that high, guys. I didn't think they were. It's just they're very, very comically big, aren't they? And I don't think they'd be standing up like that. They'll almost look like big sticks of spaghetti before you actually cook them. But in terms of the actual approach into Aberdeen, it's Scotland. It looks lovely. We are near the coast. Again, helicopter operations for the offshore, oil rigs and stuff like that, rescue. You can actually see, now I don't know how spot on we've got it here, but there is a Black Hawk here. And I don't know if that's an actual helipad as well. But there's a Black Hawk there, and I don't know if that is... I mean, I don't expect to see it on Google Maps, but I don't know if that's where Aberdeen has any kind of military operations. For me, looking at Google Maps, this actually looks like a fire area. It looks like where they do... I mean, obviously we can see it from this model here, but on Google Images, it looks like there's an actual burnt out sort of helicopter here for practice. There's actually a Jaguar. Interesting. Looking at that, I believe that's a Jaguar, but there's an actual Jaguar, as in aircraft Jaguar. You can actually see it here. You can see it. I have to look into that and see what that's all about, because obviously we have done a trailer on the channel for the Asus Poly Jaguar, so that's quite interesting. But again, would have been nice. We've got a perimeter fence. Would have been nice to see the sort of the road going around the airport modelled. But again, I'm not really going to say that's a negative. Eastern Airways hangar, fully modelled. Got an interior. It's not a fully detailed interior, but it's there and it looks pretty good as well. But yeah, guys, it's a fairly big footprint compared to what we've just looked at. It's a fairly big footprint for an airport. Let's have a look at the night lighting, and then I will jump back into Paro and have a look at the night lighting there. So big apologies on that one. But yeah, we'll have a little look and see what the night lighting looks like. Because I'll be honest, guys, the heat is really, really something at the minute, and I really need to check my. I tell you what, this webcam. As I said on the last stream, I am looking to upgrade the webcam. Hopefully, do some cool things with webcams, and just make the stream a bit more presentable, which I hope it already is. But there's always scope for improvement, and I know we've only been streaming, for a couple of months, and only been streaming recently. Oh, you've got a rotating light here as well. Interesting. Don't know if this is animated. It looks like it might be, but we'll have a look at that. But yeah, we're not been live streaming long, and in terms of the regular live stream every Sunday, only for the last few weeks. But I just want to make sure that everything looks nice, and it's not just, it's not. It doesn't look bad, is what I'm trying to say. I want to make it look presentable for you guys. So this just seems to be a light source, but it is rotating, and I can only imagine that that's what it does at Aberdeen, almost like a control tower / lighthouse. But in terms of the surrounding night lighting, the taxiways look fantastic. I know 2024, the lighting on some of the aprons and stuff on the runways doesn't always look amazing. This looks okay. The bloom on the light still doesn't look amazing, I must admit. But again, I don't know how much control the developers have on that side of things. The terminal itself, the landside, the apron spotlights, the landside area looks nice. That you can see there's actual lights on each of the hotels as well for the signage, which again is fantastic. Signage on the industrial unit over here also have lights. There's no immediate lighting on the aprons here. Now, I don't know how much the helicopters do it in terms of night operations, but there's nothing there. We kind of missed that hangar there, didn't we? It looks a bit newer, that one. Overall, I tell you what, the rotating light looks lovely though. It really does. Landside area looks brilliant. The landside area, what I would say is kind of more of a yellowy kind of light. So there is a nice selection of light sources. It's not just white, it's not in your face. Also notice there is a kind of a walkway, an undercover walkway here that has been modeled to a certain degree. There's no interior to it, but we can see that there is a there is a walkway that does protect people from the elements going to and from the terminal. But overall, really, really nice airport. Certainly worth the original price of £13. Definitely. If you're into helicopter operations, definitely look into this one, because you've got scope for it. You've got a lot of different opportunities for helicopter operations here. But even if you're into your aircraft as well, you can do some shuttle hops. You can do back and forth. I think Aberdeen mostly serves the shuttle services to and from London and other areas. Let's just have a little quick look so I can give you a bit more information on that. So yeah, you've got Eastern Airways. They operate. I think they look like a Jetstream. Got some Windrow -8s as well. fantastic. EasyJet from Gatwick, A320, British Airways from Heathrow, A319, KLM go here, they do the Amsterdam route. You've got TUI doing Dalaman as well. Loganair, obviously quite a big presence here. They're doing Belfast, Norwich, Kirkwell. The British Airways shuttle is quite regular as well, every couple of hours. You've got Loganair doing Manchester as well. Wizz Air doing Gdansk in Poland. So pretty busy. Loganair seems to dominate quite a lot there. You've got West Atlantic doing some of their cargo operations in the 737 as well. 737-400 by the looks of it. And yeah, it's quite similar each day. You've got also SAS doing operating the CRJ900. Yeah, lot of Loganairs there. Ryanair doing Alicante on certain days. EasyJet again doing the London routes. Pretty busy. You have Ryanair there every so often. EasyJet, British Airways, Loganair seems to kind of dominate the movements as well, which is quite pretty cool. So what I've done is I put the description in the description. I've put the link for this one. This is from AnyBuilds. It's not AnyBuilds. They would be the sort of the partner. This is from AuraScenery. They also, I did feature them on a past live stream. They do the Ross Klein Airport over, I think, in Norway. Norway. We had a look at that. That was lovely. That also did have an interior to it, which was interesting. Really nicely done as well. What we will do, guys, is we'll just jump back into 2020. Which is a real pain in the backside, but we'll do that because I wanted to look at the night lighting in Paro, which I didn't do. But yeah, starting to get really dry now, and it's only hour and 15 into the stream. This fan's absolutely terrible. Me coffee's gone cold. What I do need is a really big cider, I think. And I don't drink personally. I'm not a big drinker. Even when I was younger, I wasn't a big drinker. Mainly because I get drunk very, very easily. But yeah. This really is a oh, sorry guys, I don't know if oh god. Sorry guys, I don't know if we're back live. I don't know if anyone's here watching still after that. Bit of a tech issue. Never usually happens. It's just me crashing planes. I say crash planes. I did it once. I did it on the last stream. To be fair, while I was going on? Oh my god. It's reet. It's reet. It's, I tell you what, that's the first kind of hiccup I've had on a stream before. I'll be honest. Like, where it's completely gone tits up, as it were. It really did. I'm not too sure what happened. I was trying to get 2020 to stop because when I pressed exit to desktop, it just didn't want to do it. Then OBS kind of had a little hiccup, which stopped the stream, and which, yeah. Wow, that was a balls up, wasn't it? I'm back. Hopefully, if anyone's still in the stream and is actually still watching, just let me know if I am actually live. I think I am. It looks like I am. Anyway, 2020 is loading again, and we're gonna go back to Paro in Bhutan. We're gonna have a little look. We're gonna go back there. I know we were there before, but we're gonna have a little look at the night lighting because I did miss that out completely. So apologies on that one there, and again apologies for them tech issues there. Luckily, it kind of just paused the stream and did the little, you know, loading sequence thing. Which is great. It didn't completely end my stream, which I thought it might do. But yeah. Also need to get this headset sorted out because only this ear works and I can't hear that one. So if I'm editing any music on videos, literally can't hear the full soundtrack, which is terrible. Turn that down a bit. But yeah, if you are joining, guys, apologies for the hiccups there. Little tech issue, but it's hopefully fixed now. Hope everyone's had a good time so far. It's not been me most streamline stream. Let's put it that way. But we live and learn. We live and learn. Because right now I'm absolutely boiling. And it might be that the stream ends just a bit earlier than usual. Just because of the heat, guys. And it's not really going to take me another half hour to look at the airport's night lighting. So if you have spent some time with me today, all I can say is thank you. Okay, that's all I can say. If you've watching any of my videos recently, thank you. Rock and roll music, yeah, kind of my thing, Lilov. Just, you know, try and keep the music. Obviously, all can be used on streams, but yeah, no, as I say, guys, if you're watching my content and you're commenting and you're liking and watching the streams, then that's all I ask. But please do, if you are on Discord, if you're on any of social media, come and join me on those platforms because I'm super active. I upload every day, pretty much. The only days I don't really upload is if I'm on holiday or, you know, otherwise engaged elsewhere and I can't, you know, do a live stream or a video. I am pretty active, so I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate all your time viewing videos, liking videos, commenting on the videos. I have got more, so if there's anyone watching at the minute, I again appreciate it, but there is more to come from the channel. Okay, I will still do Sunday live streams, okay, whether that's rating your screenshots again, or not rating but reacting to them, anything like that, guys. I'll do my best to keep live streams interesting. Okay, some people might not want to watch particular ones. That's absolutely fine. There's going to be more live streams that are more appealing. Totally understand that. But in terms of pre-recorded content, guys, there is so much to come. All I can say is I've been speaking to various developers. Highly anticipated airports. There's some really cool aircraft coming out as well, which I am about to partner with the guys at well, I won't say actually. I'm actually gonna take some screenshots first. I'm gonna put it in my Discord and on my social media. But yeah, I'm about to start creating a trailer for an aircraft soon, and that's gonna be very interesting to see. Not an airliner, not really a general aviation aircraft either, not a fighter jet, I wouldn't put it in those categories at all. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting, and I can't wait for you guys to see that, because there's a that's going to be really fun to show that off. It really is. 2020 is still loading up, unfortunately. At the minute, it's not as fast as it was before, which is a bit odd. So yeah, if you are still hanging in there and staying and being very patient with me today, I do you know what, I appreciate it. There's a couple of live streams going on today, so there's probably a hell of a lot of people watching other live streams, which is absolutely fair enough. As I say, I'm not being live stream long, and I don't do it very well, apparently. I try. There's a dirty lollipop stick on my desk. Why is that there? Oh god. While you wait, here is my only Gemini Jets model, which is an Air France A400. Very nicely detailed. I can't wait for the not the A400, the A220, Brian, Jesus. But yeah, can't wait for this to come out on Flight Sim. Really nice model. I need to get more Gemini Jets models. They're really good. Do you recommend Reshade or NVIDIA filters? NVIDIA filters possibly on 2020, because they work a bit better on 2020. And I use Reshade on 2024, which is working out for me. But honestly, I would go for something like Rex Atmos at the minute. Technically not free. Reshade and NVIDIA filters are free. But to answer your question, Flight Sim 2020, NVIDIA filters seem to be, they work a bit better. They don't really work very well in 2024. Reshade on 2024, but honest to God, you could just use Reshade for either of them, to be honest. Trevor, thank you so much, mate. Thank you, I appreciate it. It's not been the most streamlined. It's a bit all over the place, if I'm going to be honest with you, but I'm going to blame the heat. I'm going to blame the heat straight off the bat. Yeah, it is supposed to come out the end of 2025. It really is. And from what I've read so far, it flies really well. It's looking really nice. But that, you know, people who have flown it and have seen it said it still isn't ready. It still needs a bit more time. It's absolutely fine. It's good that they've got any builds on board with them. But yeah, to go back to your question, honest to God, NVIDIA filters would only really, I think, be better on 2020, because I don't think they work very well on 24. Reshade, either simulator really. I'm using Reshade on Flight Sim 2024, and as I said before, I probably will get rid of it unless it works nicely with Rex Atmos. But as I say, if you've got Rex Atmos, I could even show you on here, to be honest with you, on live stream. But I got when I reinstalled 2020 to obviously do the the 757 trailer, I used Rex Atmos for that completely, and it really is nice. Don't think you're going to see it. It's not going to be like woo in your face when you change to it, but it's nice. You know, it's nice enough. So we are back in 2020 at the minute. Finally. What I would say is my Stream Deck is not working now, for some reason. Wow, it's just gone from bad to worse, hasn't it? Please start working. There we go. See, we're on that angle again, but there's the straight angle. Not too sure why it does that. Let me see if I've got Rex Atmos anywhere. It's here, isn't it? So I'll show you that now, because it's pretty cool. I just used the Lupo. The Lupo preset for all of them. So you've got a atmospheric filter, a weather one, and something else. Not too sure what else it is. Weather, Atmos, and Enviro. And I use Lupo's enhanced realism one for all of them. it's still trying to connect to the simulator now at the minute, but once it's there, I can show you. Now, you might not see much difference. Reshape causes me to crash when I use right alt button display, which brings new window. Interesting. I just play around with the shortcuts, if I'm going to be honest with you. But this is what the night lighting looks like in Paro. So this is back in 2020. I'll make it a bit darker for you guys. And obviously, we're not going to get as much ambient lighting kind of around buildings because we are out in the middle of nowhere. Lovely moon up there. But you can see the lighting around this area is just purely from the moon and from the few surrounding buildings. But this is what the night lighting looks like. And if I'm going to be totally honest, and I don't know if this is true, I'm not going to go off and search right now. Maybe should have searched before. But the only lighting we're getting is from the few apron lights. There's nothing in the terminal, and there's no actual runway lights. Now, I can only assume, and this is purely because I'm going to guess, is because of the location, and I don't think any pilot in their right mind would want to land here at night. So we do have only minimal lighting. There's no runway lights at all, so that would indicate for me that it's got limited use. Again, if anyone wants to go off and find out for me, they can. I won't go off and search now because I realise I've done that too much. But it seems that it's limited. The moon, the sun, and the sky in colours in 24 in the sunset and sunrise need adjustments, but 24. I mean, personally, I think the lighting in 2024 is better, along with the scenery itself. I don't think that's really an argument case, personally. But there is areas that 2020 gets right. It's still too yellowish in colour for me. But you'll see what I mean. Hopefully, you'll see what I mean when I turn Atmos on because it's still off. So if I go to something like maybe the blazing sun one, where it's just quite nice. It looks really, really nice. But when you use a conjunction, so there's no NVIDIA filters or reshade here. I'm going to turn on the Rex Atmos things in kind of order. So this first one is the atmospheric one. You can see it does, you'll see it kind of change. Off into the background is where you'll see it change. I'll do that again for you one more time. You can actually see it change. So I'm going to turn the atmospheric set on. And then we'll go back and we'll turn the weather one on. And then we'll turn the environmental one on. And these are all called Lupo. And there you can change the tree effects, so you can change them darker. That's another thing you can do. So all the trees, you can do that too. Now, I don't know if that looks better. Personally, maybe not with the fact that it's really, really sunny. But you can do that just on the fly. And this is just an external program, guys. So it has to. The really disappointing thing about Rex Atmos, in my opinion, I don't think they can do it any other way. Have it installed to your community folder, but you have to have the program opened up and it runs alongside it. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm using my key bindings for 2024 there. That's why I was going a bit mental there. That's why. I can't remember what the presets were for the. Oh, that's one. That's the speed up one. That's the speed up one. So Rex Atmos, yeah, it does sometimes make visuals look better. The Lupo one in particular is really nice. Especially there coming through the mountains. Looks really, really nice. the actual clouds here aren't the best looking. For me, the blazing sun shouldn't really have any kind of clouds visible in my opinion. But yeah, apart from the kind of the scenery, the trees, I'd say when you're using Rex Atmos for the light and the sort of the color and stuff like that, it's very, very hard to see differences in between 20 and 2024. Again, you can, because of the scenery, the trees, for example, still look terrible in 2020. I know, Lilov, you mentioned Orbex trees. I've never tried it, but these weird sort of, I don't know what they call them, but they're weird trees in 2024. They're all 3D models streamed in, but they're all 3D models. Again, we can have a look at the night lighting now that we've got Rex Atmos and running. Whether you'll see much difference is probably unlikely. But again, night lighting for the airport is done well. It's done where it's it's needed. But again, the scenery around here is just lovely. Really, really nice. As I say, guys, I appreciate everyone coming in and streaming. It's been a bit of an up and down one. No word of a lie. There's just the tech issues were fixed pretty promptly, but again, not too sure what happened on there. There's going to be live streams in the next couple of weeks where I'm taking a look at more stuff, newer stuff. Granted, these scenery add-ons aren't brand new. They've been out for a while, and people might already know about them. The reason why I'm showing them is because the developers were nice enough to show me them and allow me to show you. And some things I can't do pre-recorded videos for. There's that many that I have to choose what's easier to do, a live stream or a pre-recorded video. In this instance, a live stream, but again, there might be instances where I put out a video, maybe possibly trying to land at the airport. I don't know, but I'll do my very, very best, guys. I am going to call it a day in the next couple of minutes. Again, massive thank you. It's really too warm. I'm probably going to try and enjoy some of the weather if possible. I'm going to go and get myself a drink. But keep an eye, guys. I'm going to try and do more stuff with sort of camera quality is okay, to be honest with you, but I'm going to try and do stuff there. I'm going to try and do some stuff here so it looks a bit more streamery. But yeah, going to really try and sort of get things for the live stream nicely packaged and fun to watch. And obviously, it only depends on the content really, and how much I sit there and talk rubbish or go off on a completely different subject when it's not needed. I am working on stuff in the background. As you know, I'm already quite. I'm very, very active on all the social media, Discord. TikTok is one that I'm using a bit more recently, but it's really only stuff that goes on my Instagram and Facebook. So it's just copied and paste basically. But I do show more photographs on Instagram and TikTok because it's an easier platform to do them. They are easier, more than Facebook and X. They're a bit easier. And obviously Discord, you can come in and you can submit some photos. I've got a subreddit as well. You can go and upload some videos. I want you guys to upload some of your landing videos so I can do some reacting to your landings live on stream. All that stuff. There's going to be some community fly events as well. I've got someone. I'm not going to say who until we've sorted it, but I've got someone making an actual event space with my branding on it inside the simulator in Flight Sim 2024. Just for now, I think just as 2024, just if I'm doing anything like that. So if you do want to do some community flying with me and others, I'm going to do some live streams on that. We're going to land at an airfield. There'll be an actual space with your photos in it. So if you submit any photos, there's going to be an actual tent with community photos actually in there, guys. So your photos will be inside the simulator. So if you are watching and you find that really interesting, because I think it's bloody amazing, this particular person is doing this for me. You're going to be able to go into a community space on 2024, because you've got the walking mode. We can land our planes land our helicopters on our planes on the runway, this particular airfield. We can go into the tent. You can see your photographs, your submissions from my Discord in there. We can all have a look around. There's going to be some obviously modeled food and stuff. We can have a virtual barbecue and stuff like that. So yeah, that's going to be something I do in the year at some point. It's just obviously I need the interest there. I need people to actually go into Discord and say, yeah, I want to do this. And obviously I need the time for people to be on live stream at the same time zone and stuff like that. So yeah, I am going to call it a day, guys, just usually about 15 minutes earlier than my 2 hours, because it is getting a bit warm. And yeah, just please like the stream. Please share it. If you are rewatching the stream, apologies for the blackout in the middle of there. Don't know what happened. I couldn't tell you. I'm gonna go and get a massive drink. I'm gonna go and sit for a bit in the cool air if we've got any, and then I'm gonna come back up on the simulator and I'm gonna have a look at a new aircraft that's not even out yet. And I'm going to start looking at that and taking some screenshots, and if you are on my Discord, you'll be able to see that aircraft very soon. Okay, so yeah, I am Mikey, mate. I'm actually going now. I apologize. Please do rewatch it. Please rewatch my awful stream. I'm really like thingied out on the stream today because it's not being the best. But no, guys, I really appreciate it. Appreciate you coming in. Mikey, rewatch the stream, mate, if you're interested in the actual scene that we showed off. But yeah, keep an eye on my Discord. If you're not on my Discord, look out on all of my social media. I've got an aircraft I'm about to look at today at some point. Have a little fly around in that thing. It looks so much fun. And in the next couple of weeks to a month, there's going to be another massive airport releasing, I believe. And I'm hoping your man here is going to be the one doing the trailer for that. I'm hoping, because it's going to be another great one. So yeah, thank you everyone. I really appreciate your time today. It's not been the best stream, I'll be honest with you. Not being my most favorite stream, but listen, you guys have been in and you've been watching, so that's all that counts. Yeah, I'll see you again very soon, guys.